Python string operations. There are 4 data types that you will commonly use in Python. Integer, which is used for whole numbers. Float, which is used for decimal numbers. You may find decimal numbers called real numbers in some places, but in Python we call them floats. Boolean, which is used to store the value true or the value false and nothing else. String, which can be any combination of letters, digits, symbols and spaces. Remember, if you store a digit as a data type integer, then you will be able to do maths with it. But if you store a digit as data type string, you will not be able to do maths with it. There's more about that later in the video. There are lots of different operations that we might want to do on our strings, and Python has lots of built-in functions to enable us to do many of these things. In this video, we only look at a few of the most common, but once you can use these, then you will find it much easier to understand websites that explain how to use the others. To find the length of a string, we use the len function. In this program, we have created a variable named phrase, then store the string "hi there" inside it. We then create a second variable named numchars and use the len function to count up how many characters there are in the string stored in variable phrase. There are 9 characters, so the integer 9 gets stored in variable numchars. Why does Python decide that there are 9 characters in the string "hi there"? Because there are 7 letters plus 1 space plus 1 exclamation mark, totaling 9. On the last line, we print out what is stored in variable numchars. In other words, the program will output 9. This next program shows us how we can find what character is at any given position in a string. The first line stores the string "learning Python" in a variable named phrase. Line 2 prints out the character that is in position 0 of the string. Notice how 0 is placed inside square brackets immediately after the variable name to make this happen. It is really important to understand that when we look at the position of characters in a string, the first character is not in position 1, but is in position 0. So in our string "learning Python", uppercase L is in position 0, lowercase e is in position 1, lowercase a is in position 2, etc. So the second line of the program will result in uppercase L being printed on the screen. Line 3 creates a new variable named char3 and stores in variable char3 the character at position 2. Because our numbering system starts at 0, index position 2 is the 3rd character of the string. The final line of the program prints out the character that has been stored in variable char3. So when the program is run, line 2 outputs uppercase L and line 4 outputs lowercase a. If we ask a program to find a character at an index position that doesn't exist, the program will crash with an error message stating that the string index is out of range. This program crashes because we are asking it to print out the character at index position 15, but our string does not have an index position 15 because the last character is at index position 14. As well as finding what character is at a particular position, we can also find whereabouts in a string a particular character first occurs. This program uses the find method to find the index position of character A. Line 2 creates a variable named pos_of_char. We then write the name of the variable we are looking in, in this case phrase, followed by a dot, followed by find, which is the name of the method we are using. Finally, we put the character that we are searching for inside speech marks and inside brackets. The index position of character A, which is 2, is stored in pos_of_char variable. The final line of the program prints out the index position that is stored in pos_of_char. If we use the find method to search for a character that is not in a string, then obviously the program cannot tell us the position because the position doesn't exist. On these occasions it returns the integer -1 instead of a position. In this program we have included an if-else clause. Once again we are using find to store the position of a character in variable phrase inside the variable pos_of_char. If that position is stored as -1, the program will output character is not in the string. Otherwise, the program will output the index number where the character is first found. As we are searching for uppercase A and there is no uppercase A in our string, the program outputs character is not in the string. We call a section of a string a substring. So learn is a substring of the longer string learning Python. Ear is also a substring, as is ing and thon and pi, etc. To find a substring, we again put integers inside square bracket, but this time we put 2 integers separated by a colon. So line 2 of this program creates a variable named sub and stores inside stub a substring of the string that is stored in variable phrase. When the program is run, we see that substring ear, EAR, has been stored in variable sub. This is because the integers in the square brackets tell Python to find characters from the first number in the brackets, in this case 1, up to 1 less than the second number in the brackets. So here 3 is 1 less than 4, so it finds characters in positions 1, 2 and 3. If we want to find a substring that finishes with the last character of the original string, then in the square brackets we simply put the starting position followed by a colon, but then with nothing after the colon. So in this program we have 9 before the colon but nothing after the colon. When the program is run, it outputs a substring that starts at index position 9 and goes all the way to the end of the original string. Concatenate means to link things together in order. So if we concatenate 2 or more strings, it means we join them together one after another. In this program we have created 2 variables named string1 and string2. We have stored the string hello in variable string1 and the string again in variable string2. In line 3 we have created a new variable named phrase. We have then concatenated what is stored in variable string1 with what is stored in variable string2. We use the plus sign to do this concatenation. The string that is created by the concatenation gets stored in variable phrase. The final line of the program outputs the concatenated string that is stored in variable phrase. When we run the program, we see our new string is hello again, But notice there are no spaces in our new string, as the plus sign joined together only what was stored in the original two variables, and there was no spaces in either of these. If we want a space in our new string, then we must concatenate that as well. In this updated version of the program, we concatenate what is stored in string 1 with an empty string with what is stored in variable string 2. Computers work out what character to display on the screen by using a character set, such as the ASCII character set. In a character set, every character is given a unique number known as a character code. For example, uppercase A has the character code 65, uppercase B has the character code 66, etc. This program uses the ORD function to find out the character code of whatever character the user enters. In line 2, the user enters a character which is stored in a variable named character. Line 3 creates a new variable named code. The ORD function is then used on whatever is stored in variable character. Python finds the numerical code of the character and stores it in variable code. The final line of the program prints out this code. When I ran the program, I entered uppercase A, and the ORD function found that the character code of uppercase A is 65, so this is what was output. We can also do this process in reverse, so that if we enter a character code, then the program will tell us what character that code represents. To do this, we use the chr function. We have stored the integer 65 in variable code. We use the function to get Python to find what character is represented by this code. We store this character in a variable named character. We output this character. The program has found that character A is represented using the code 65. Sometimes we need to change data type from a string to either an integer, a whole number, or a float, a decimal number. In this program, we have created two variables named num1 and num2. In each of these variables, we have stored a string. We can tell they are strings as we have put speech marks around the data being stored. Line 3 makes a new variable called total and stores in it the result of what is in variable num1 plus what is in variable num2. However, Python cannot do a mathematical addition here because num1 and num2 are storing strings, and we can only do maths with data types integer or data type float. Therefore, when we run the program, line 6 outputs that what is stored in variable total is 42.5. This is because Python has concatenated the string 4 with the string 2.5, and that leads to 42.5. It has not done mathematical addition. If we want to add 4 and 2.5 together instead of concatenating them, then we must change the data type of the two variables. This updated version of the program has 2 extra lines of code. In line 2, we use the int function to change what is stored in variable num1 from a string into an integer. In line 4, we use the float function to change what is stored in variable num2 from a string into a float. Now our addition sign can do mathematical addition instead of doing concatenation, because both of our variables are storing number data types, one an integer, one a float. When we run the program, we see it has added 4 and 2.5 to give the answer 6.5. Being able to change from data type string to either data type integer or float is really important, because whenever we use the input function, Python automatically makes whatever the user enters into a string. For example, in this program, data is input by the user and stored in variables num1 and num2, but because we have used the input function to do this, the data is stored as strings. So in line 5, Python doesn't do a mathematical addition, but instead concatenates the two values. I ran the program and entered 2.5, followed by 3.5. Python concatenated these, so it output 2.53.5. In this version of the program, the data to be stored in the variables is changed to floats as soon as it is input. So now line 5 can do a mathematical addition instead of doing concatenation. This time when I ran the program, Python changed the 2.5 that I entered into a float. Python changed the 3.5 that I entered into a float. Python then mathematically added these two float values together and then output that in variable total is 6. We can also change from data type integer or data type float to data type string. For example, imagine we want to know how long a number is. The len function only works on strings, and a program will crash if we try to find out how long an integer or a float is. Line 1 stores an integer in variable num1. Line 2 attempts to use the len function to find out the length of this variable. But when we run the program, it crashes, outputting instead an error message that means that the len function does not work with integers. To prevent the program crashing, we first need to turn our integer into a string, as we have done in this version of the program in line 2. This in turn allows us to use the len function in line 3 without the program crashing. Of course, if we then later needed to do some maths with the data stored in variable num1, we would have to turn it back into an integer or a float.